Hello everyone, hi, welcome back to Makeup Free. If you're new here, thank you for coming and hanging out with me. It's been a while since I've filmed like long form content. I feel a little awkward, but I feel like I'm coming back into myself, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But yeah, I'm excited to finally film a long form video. I have some things I need to do today and I want to get ready for the day, and I'm just gonna chat with you about some things that are going on in my life. So if that sounds interesting to you, stay tuned. So if you haven't noticed, I've been doing a lot of YouTube shorts lately, and I've come back to doing YouTube live every week. I try to do them every Saturday if I can. If you want to come hang out with me, Saturday mid-morning Pacific time. Usually I try to go live around 10, 11 o'clock. I don't have a set time. Just keep an eye out because I'm usually on sometime around then on Saturdays. So I would love to see your beautiful names popping up in the chat and hanging out and just talking about random stuff. Most of the time it's just getting ready and just, you know, chatting about things going on. My friends Clara, Sam, Louise, and Felix often come on, some usually just kind of chatting with them about things. One thing I love about YouTube is just building community where you're at. So right now I'm homebound for the most part because I had a severe injury happen about a week ago. I slipped and fell and I ended up badly injuring myself. I tore my ACL, I guess is what the ER doctor said. Right now I don't have a full-time regular job, so I rely on gig work for the most part to get me by. I'm in a big old boot. I'm not going to get up and show you right now. So imagine this is my leg. So this is my hip. It goes all the way up to here, and then it comes all the way down to the ankle, and sometimes it hits the top of my foot. It's kind of uncomfortable to wear because I'm really short, and that thing just takes over almost my entire leg. But I haven't really been going anywhere. I did manage to go to the grocery store yesterday because there's a couple things I really needed, and I just was feeling stir crazy. Oh my goodness, the next several weeks are going to be very challenging for me because I am not someone who likes to sit at home and not do things. I can't sit here and twiddle my thumbs. So I've been watching a lot of TV and YouTube. The errand I'm gonna go run today, if I can, I'm gonna try to take a bus because I can't drive right now, or take an Uber or something if I can. I'm gonna go to the library and return some books and get some new books to read because I definitely need something to occupy my mind. I'm also in the process of packing up my house, moving it all into storage because I have contractors who are going to come in and start fixing everything, and it'll be far easier for them if I'm completely out. My HOA is responsible for the leaks that have been happening around my house over the last several years, and I had 6 pipes burst in my kitchen back in January, and then in November I think I had another roof leak, or roof drain pipe leak, which is what destroyed my spare bedroom, which is the room I used for my filming studio. So that's why I'm still in my bedroom. Things have gotten fixed and then they just fell apart again. So I am at that point where I'm just done. I'm planning to sell my condo. I don't want to live here anymore. I just have too many bad memories. I have PTSD every time it rains. I don't sleep. I freak out thinking that there's going to be more water coming in through the ceiling or through the pipes, so I'm constantly going into my spare bedroom and listening and checking on the pipes and make sure there's no water because I don't want my things to get destroyed. So it's like every time it rains heavily, I have this fear of rainwater coming into my house. And if you know anything about Washington State, you know that it does actually rain a lot here, especially in the winter and fall months. Summer, not so much, but we're coming into fall and now I'm like, oh, I'm gonna have to live through another season of this. I don't think I have it in me. Anyway, I'm preparing to fully move out. I've got most of my big furniture in storage already. I've got a few small pieces left that I need to take over once, you know, I'm out. And then I've got a lot of just random stuff. Got a lot of cooking things, you know, basically all the stuff that I need to survive. It'll be interesting. And then once the house hits the market, I'm taking that money and whatever money I can get from the sale. There's not going to be much, unfortunately, because my HOA imposed a special assessment to repair my house, which means that they're forcing me to pay for part of it. So I have no idea how much or how little I'll be walking away with, but whatever I can get is going to cover the cost of moving into my own place, another new place. But the challenge right now is the health stuff and the surgical stuff. I don't know how bad my ACL tear is. Usually most ACL tears are complete, like they don't partially tear, they're all the way through. I don't know what the reason is for that, but that's what I've learned online. But it's a ligament. It connects your knee to your femur, which is the big leg bone, and it provides stability when you walk so you're not wobbly like Gumby. Well, actually, was Gumby ever wobbly? I don't know. I'm trying to think of a cartoon that kind of embodied this wiggly jiggly thing, but I can't think of anyone. That ACL tear is not good. It means I have no stability in my right leg, which means I can't bear weight on my knee. It means I can't walk right now without the big brace thing and crutches. They were going to give me a walker at the ER, and I was like, oh no. My pride was like completely wounded there. So I was like, yeah, no, let's not do that. I don't want to be walking around with a walker. That sounds sad. So I opted for just having the crutches. I will say though, I need to get medical equipment so that I can actually take baths. I tried taking a bath the other night and I was so excited. I'm able to take a bath. This thing didn't rob me of that. And then sadly, when I went to exit the bathtub, it took me 90 minutes to get out of the bathtub, and it was very, very, very embarrassing and frustrating. So on top of the ACL, when I tripped and fell, I hit pretty hard. I still have some scratches on my hand when I landed. My wrist kind of popped in and out a little bit. Nothing's broken, nothing's torn. They just said it's a sprain, so yay for that. But I landed really hard. I have a medical condition called costochondritis. That's when you have inflammation in your cartilage in the ribs. And for me, my ribs often pop out. So that's never fun. And when they do pop out, they usually pop right back in. So it's like a quick dislocation basically. So that had happened the week prior to my fall. The rib is this one here, right here. And it wraps all the way around to the backside, and it's right underneath the shoulder blade. That muscle and everything in that whole vicinity is pretty sore. But when I fell, it aggravated it even worse, and I was in so much pain I had to go to the ER a second time, and they gave me Vicodin for it. Oh man, I've been a hot mess. But anyway, so going back to the bathtub, I can't bear a lot of weight on my left side because of my shoulder and that rib pain. But it's my right leg that hurts, the knee that I can't put weight on. So I'm kind of stuck with how to distribute my body weight. Like, I'm small in terms of height and I'm petite in a lot of ways, but I'm still chunky. I'm a chunky girl. And, you know, I can usually bear my body weight, but not with my shoulder injury and not without leg support. So I Google searched for like that 90 minutes I was stuck in the bathtub trying to figure out how to get out of the bathtub. And I finally found a video where this occupational therapist or something, where she was like, bend your knees, make sure you have a towel on the bathtub floor so you're not going to slip and slide, and then you put your heel down with your good leg and you really push with that, and you use your good arm, which for me was this one, so I could push down to lift myself up. And she's like, lift your booty up, use your good leg and kind of shimmy backwards, and then you can walk yourself up. And it worked. Oh my gosh, I started like crying with relief because I was just so frustrated at that point where I was like, if this does not work, I'm calling an ambulance and I'm gonna have the EMTs take me out of my bathtub because I can't get out. I'm hurting, I can't breathe because the moisture in the room is just too, you know, when you take a hot bath, there's warm air, etc. So I was at that point where I was like, it's gonna be embarrassing, but I gotta get out of this tub. I'm sure EMTs see this all the time with the elderly, but I'm not elderly, so that's even more embarrassing. But I was able to avert that crisis, and I was able to get myself out of the tub. Ooh, this is pretty. By the way, I'm using the Nubian palette from Juvia's Place. And the color I used in my crease was this one here. There's no name. It's kind of a burnt orange tone. And then this color is the one I'm putting on the lids. I did put some MAC Fix Plus on my brush so that I could foil this and make sure there wasn't a lot of fallout, because there's a little bit of fallout in the palette. And I feel like this is going to be a really pretty nice like intro to fall look. I don't know why I had that vocal fry there. I try not to talk like that. I wonder if it's because I live in Seattle around all these Californian transplants. So that's where I'm at with health and just life. Can't work right now because, hello, I'm not supposed to be on my feet too long. I feel like the universe is just telling me to let my body heal and to kind of figure out the next steps. I ended up creating a GoFundMe because I still have bills I have to pay and I have no real way to pay them, unfortunately, without working, and because it's going to take so long with I don't know if L&I is going to kick in, if I will get any of my pay. I have no idea. And I'm just like trying really hard not to be discouraged or fearful about it. I'm Christian, and deep down I know that this is just a test of faith, and that if I just hold on a little bit longer, for every bad thing that I've encountered these past several years, something good will come, and it will be beautiful, and it will be amazing, and it will be a blessing so much more amazing than I can imagine. It's been a long time, several years now, that I've just been out of my game, out of my element because of this house and because everything going on. I like to think that I have a story to tell. That's just God telling me right now that I need to prepare myself to tell some of my stories. I've had it on my heart for a long time to write a couple books. I have a few books that I've been, or stories or something, that I've been thinking about for years, and I already have the titles and just kind of the overall flow in my head of how they will be written. I don't know exactly what will be written in each one, but the one story I want to tell is just like generational trauma in Native American cultures, especially through the matriarch line, with my mom, my grandma, my great-grandma, and talking about our stories, sharing different things that we've learned, but more in like a traditional Native American storytelling way. I'm really excited about that, but that one's going to take so much emotional work that it's also scary for me. That's on my heart. And then I have another story that I want to write about, from like why I started YouTube many years ago and what kind of led me down that path. But also in that time, I haven't really told the story to a lot of people, but I was homeless at the time. There's so many random things that I experienced between living in a women's shelter, living in my car, couch surfing, being hospitalized, like all of these things happening at that time. I think of it as not charming, but kind of like, wow, that could make an interesting movie, or that could be an interesting book to read. And it's kind of funny, some of the things I experienced. There's a lot of random humorous things that I'm like, I gotta write about that. There's just absolutely no way I cannot share that story. But there's other parts of it that are more, personal. It'll be fiction. I don't want to reveal any people in my life or people that I encountered. I don't necessarily want to tell their story because that's not my thing. I just have it in my heart to write about that time in my life because I think that it was interesting. And I can look back at it fondly and remember a lot of these things that happened in my life that I'm grateful for, but also, things that shaped how I see the world and how I perceive people. And I think that by writing, it's going to be super therapeutic. And another thing is coming back here and actually sitting here filming like this and not being on a live, it's kind of forcing me to think back to when I first started YouTube and why I did it. And I feel like there's so many signs, like Tati and her recent podcast and her talking about her roots in why she started YouTube. She was in rehab and she was trying to get her life back together and heal and recover, and YouTube was her gateway into recovery. It was her beacon of light. And when I think back to what YouTube meant to me during my rough times, it was the same thing. The community was my savior. I had something to wake up to and to look forward to after I attempted to unalive myself. I poured myself into YouTube as much as I possibly could, given the restraints of where I didn't live and not having equipment, and just, doing the best that I could with what little resources I had at the time. And I've been here for 14 plus years, and it amazes me that I'm still here on YouTube, and I still find it so rewarding. I love creating and sharing. For me, it's an outlet, right? Kind of thinking back to this nostalgia and how Tati was talking about her kind of, I guess, humble beginnings, and me feeling like a lot of my life has been repeating itself with, am I going to end up homeless because I have to sell my house and I don't have a place to go because I can't work right now? There's a lot of parallels to that time where I feel like I'm kind of repeating parts of my life and feeling like I'm going backwards, but at the same time I know that going backwards isn't necessarily a bad thing. Candy Johnson, if you remember her, I remember her talking about a slingshot. She was talking about how when you pull it back, you feel like you're going backwards in your life, and everything is just getting tense and more tense, and you feel like you're going to buckle under the pressure, and you just want to let go, and that resistance is building up, and you feel it, and you feel like life is not going your way. You're just kind of backtracking, and you see everybody moving forward, and you're just stuck back here, and life is just not fair. But then eventually all that tension leads up to this momentum, and as soon as that is released, you just go flying forward. And so many times you fly in the direction you may have not even expected to, or you might even end up way further out than you expected, because all that momentum, all that energy just built up to being such an amazing blessing that comes to you because of that patience. And patience is not my virtue. I am not a patient person. And with all of these years that I've been just kind of suffering and miserable and upset and all of these things, I feel like I finally see the light at the end of the tunnel, and I'm starting to feel that extra tension right now with the accident. Just even getting out of this condo I feel trapped in. I don't even feel like it's home anymore. I haven't felt like it's home at all for years at this point, and I've just felt like a prisoner because I couldn't sell it because of the disrepair. I couldn't rent it out because of the disrepair. I have barely been living here because, again, of the disrepair. It's just been a nightmare. We're coming to the end of this season, and the next season is going to be incredible. I don't know what my life will bring to me in the next couple of years, but I think back to the early days of my YouTube journey. I just knew in my heart that I needed to move to Seattle from where I was living, and once I made that move, I worked very hard and I overcame a lot of challenges in the workplace, and I finally landed in a job that I ended up staying in for 7 years. And in that 7-year period, I think back to that time and I'm so grateful because I learned so many skills, and I learned that I had more experience and knowledge and insight and intuition and all of these things that I could have ever imagined for myself. And I built a career. I was able to build out a dream role for myself at the company I was at. I traveled a lot for work, and I got to go to some really cool conferences, and I met some really amazing women, and just all of these things wouldn't have come to me if I hadn't have held on and believed that there would be a better future for myself. And that's what brings me peace right now, is thinking about how I struggled so much when I first started YouTube, and I went through a lot of horrible things, and I was blessed beyond measure in so many ways, and I had the ability to buy a house by myself. I didn't have any help in Seattle, of all places, where it's so expensive. I just keep thinking back to the power within myself and the power that comes from believing that you can overcome your obstacles. And I just keep holding on to that because, there's not much else I can do. This is what I'm going through in my life, and I wanted to share this piece with you. I'm pretty open about it in live chats too, so maybe some of this isn't new. It's probably a repeat for those of you who are awesome and come to every live chat. I appreciate you so much. I'll try to use the community tab a little bit more to try to tell people when I'm going live, because I haven't been the best about it. So everything on my eyes is kind of basic, but it's this palette. I use this shade in the inner tear duct area. I use this brown to create the dark line around my eyes. Nothing else. I'm going to add a little concealer under my eyes. Just got it all over my finger. So yeah, I'm going to do a little adventure to the library today. I need to get some groceries. I was going to do grocery delivery, but it's so expensive. And since I'm already going to be taking an Uber home, my brain's like, just save the extra $8, $9. So grocery delivery, if I do it directly from my grocery store and do it online and then they process it, it goes through Instacart, which, you know, I do. And I know how little Instacart pays its shoppers. So I'm like, okay, I have to tip X amount for this shopping trip plus the fees and all of these things. And I'm like, to do grocery delivery is going to be about 20 bucks on top of my grocery costs. We'll definitely see, because I can only put so much weight on my leg before it hurts. Walking in the brace really bites. I definitely need the groceries. There's a few things that I'm running out of that I'm gonna need, like toilet paper. I need a couple things for dinner. That looks decent. And I have a little bronzer. Yeah, keep going back to this. It's like a hands down favorite. It's from NYX. It's their Mosaic powder. I have no idea if they still even make this. If they don't, that's such a crying shame, because it is a gorgeous mix of blush and bronzer, and it's like a one-stop shop. I mean, you could even use it as a little bit of a highlight because it's got some sheen to it. But I am going to use a highlighter because you know this girl loves highlight and shine, and I definitely want that today. Oh, if you haven't checked out my shorts, that sounded weird, but my short videos, I've been having a lot of fun kind of doing these random lucky dips, because I've packed up my makeup and a lot of them are in bins like this. So this one's like all the lip liners and kind of random lip products that aren't lipsticks. And I just kind of close my eyes, look away, and grab and just kind of create a random makeup or lip look based on, that's bright. That's not the color I was thinking it was going to be. Okay. I'll like this look. And I got it all over my teeth. Actually, that looks really pretty, kind of more muted like that. I kind of like this combo. That looks really pretty. I like it. I'm going to put a little teeny gloss on it though. I've been having a lot of fun doing those YouTube shorts. I have also been doing shorts on my kitchen show channel. So yeah, I'll have a lot more content for both the kitchen show and this channel, and possibly Emily's, because I'll be reading a bit more. That's a long-winded, like, I've been chatting for like 40 minutes, 45 minutes, I don't even know. Yeah, so that's it for this makeup look. I like it. Gotta do my little for my thumbnail. Anyway, I appreciate you hanging out with me today and for listening to me ramble on. I hope to see you all in a live chat very soon on the weekends. You know, again, Saturday around 10 a.m. Pacific time is about the time I go live. Again, not guaranteed because life's weird. And then also just come check out my YouTube shorts, because I'm having so much fun doing the random lucky dips and other things. And yeah, I would love a thumbs up on this video. Be sure to comment. Let the YouTube algorithm know to share this video with the world, so more people can come and hang out with us in our community. And yeah, I love you guys so much. I appreciate you for hanging out with me, and I'll see you in the next video. Mwah! Stay electric as always. Bye.